The rise and fall of celebrities involved in financial scandals. Ever wonder how some of the biggest stars in the world went from having huge homes to being deeply in debt? From not paying taxes to spending too much, the stories behind these financial collapses are shocking and hard to believe. In the world of glitz and glamour, where everyone watches and records everything, celebs are often seen as gods who can't do any wrong. People often see their money, power, and status as signs of success, respect, and dreams that will never come true. Behind the velvet walls of fame, though, things can be much rougher sometimes. Over the years, many famous people have become rich and famous, only to lose everything when they got caught with money problems. These scandals often show a darker side of celebrity society. They show that even rich and famous people can make bad financial decisions, commit fraud, or run their businesses poorly. What's so appealing about celebrity wealth? It's impossible to deny the appeal of celebrity wealth, whether you're a singer, movie star, athlete, or social media star. A lot of the time, celebs have too much money because they have multi-million-dollar contracts, sponsorship deals, and generous endorsement deals. A lot of the time, after a person becomes famous very quickly, they become very rich very quickly as well, sometimes without having the money, knowledge, or experience to handle it properly. Some people make bad choices because they feel like they have to keep up an image of wealth and success, while others fall for dishonest advisors and scams. And in the worst situations, some celebrities get involved in illegal activities that cause public issues, legal problems, and financial ruin. The stories of famous people who got caught in financial scandals. Wesley Snipes, tax evasion, and the law's effects. Many people knew Wesley Snipes as the action star from movies like Blade and Passenger 57. He was making millions of dollars and living a life of fame and wealth when he was at the top of his game. Behind the scenes, though, he was having more and more money problems. By the early 2000s, he was caught in a huge tax evasion scam. It was said that Snipes and his financial managers didn't file tax returns for several years, which meant they owe the US government over $17 million in back taxes. Even though Snipes was very wealthy, he chose a plan based on the controversial idea that Americans are not officially required to pay taxes. The case went to court, and he was found guilty of willfully failing to file tax reports. Snipes' business and finances were hurt badly by the scandal's effects. His public image and finances have never fully recovered, even though he has gone back to acting after almost 3 years in jail. His case shows how dangerous it is to not do your taxes right and how bad it is to listen to advice from people who aren't prepared. MC Hammer, spending too much and going bankrupt. Before the early 1990s, when he was at the top of his game, MC Hammer was one of the biggest names in hip-hop. Thanks to hits like You Can't Touch This, he made a fortune of more than $30 million. But his quick rise to fame and wealth was followed by an equally quick fall. Hammer was known for spending a lot of money. He bought a mansion with 40 workers and a bunch of expensive cars, planes, and animals. Besides that, he was very kind with his money and hired family and friends to work for him. Even though Hammer had some early success, he spent a lot more than he made. By 1996, he was $13 million in debt and had to file for bankruptcy. Hammer has changed his name and had success in other areas since then, but his story still serves as a warning about the risks of spending too much and living beyond your means. Mike Tyson, the fall of a wrestling champion. Fans of boxing will always remember Mike Tyson's rise to fame. Tyson was the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world in the late 1980s and early 1990s, when he was at the top of his game and making hundreds of millions of dollars from fighting and endorsements. Tyson's personal problems and bad money management, on the other hand, caused a spectacular fall from glory. Tyson quickly ran out of money because he lived a very expensive life with exotic pets, fancy homes, and expensive parties. Tyson's legal problems, such as going to jail for rape and going through several expensive divorces, made his finances even worse. In 2003, Tyson said he was $23 million in debt and filed for bankruptcy. Tyson's money problems were mostly caused by his own bad decisions and bad handling by his advisors. His failure to control how much he spent and the bad choices made by those who were in charge of his money caused him to lose everything. With public speaking, acting, and his own podcast, Tyson has tried to rebuild his career and funds in the years since. Nicolas Cage, spending too much in foreclosures. Nicolas Cage, an Academy Award-winning actor, is another famous person who went from being rich to being broke because they spent too much and didn't handle their money well. Cage was one of Hollywood's highest-paid stars at the height of his career, making millions of dollars from hits like National Treasure and Face/Off. But Cage became famous for the crazy things he bought, like several homes, a private island, rare comic books, and even a dinosaur skull. After a while, Cage's careless spending caught up with him, and he ended up with a lot of debt and several foreclosures. By 2009, Cage owed the IRS more than $6 million in back taxes. Many of his properties were sold or were taken back by the bank. Cage said that his business boss was mismanaging his money, so he sued him for fraud. However, Cage has continued to work in movies, and his money problems show that even the richest celebs can have big problems when their spending gets out of hand. Lindsay Lohan, legal trouble and personal bankruptcy. Lindsay Lohan became very famous and wealthy when she was young and worked as a child actor and teen star. Lohan used to be one of Hollywood's best young actors, and she is known for her parts in movies like Mean Girls and The Parent Trap. But her job quickly got out of hand because she used drugs, got into trouble with the law, and made bad financial choices. Lohan's frequent legal fights, stays in rehab, and unpredictable behavior made her an unattractive movie star prospect, which made her money problems even worse. By the late 2000s, Lohan's once struggling career was almost over, and she was being sued for unpaid rent, taxes, and bills. Lohan has tried to make a return many times over the years, but her fall from fame is still a stark reminder of how personal problems and bad money decisions can ruin even the most promising careers. Mismanagement, too much, and trust problems are common themes. There are a few things that all of the stories of famous people who have been involved in financial scams have in common. Putting your trust in the wrong people. That's because a lot of celebs get into financial trouble because they trust advisors or managers who don't have their best interests at heart. A lot of stars have lost a lot of money because of fraud, bad management, and bad coaching. Problems with the law. Celebrities can lose a lot of money very quickly in lawsuits, tax evasion, and other legal fights. Legal problems can sometimes lead to financial ruin, like with Wesley Snipes or Mike Tyson. Not only the rich and famous can learn a lot from celebrity financial crises, but so can anyone who is in charge of their own money. Don't spend more than you can afford. Living beyond your means is important for long-term financial safety. It's easy to get caught up in the desire for luxury. People shouldn't spend all of their money just because they make a lot of it. Fame and money don't always mean financial security. The rise and fall of celebrities involved in financial scams is a sobering reminder of this. There are many bad things about being a star, like not paying taxes, spending too much, and not managing your money well. People and celebrities alike can learn from these stories and take steps to avoid similar problems and become financially stable in the long run. Enjoyed the video? Make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on more eye-opening stories from the world of fame, fortune, and everything in between.